Welcome to episode 435 of In Touch with iOS, this podcast that keeps you connected to the ever-changing Apple ecosystem. I am your host, Dave Ginsburg. Each week we break down the latest news, updates, tips, and hidden features across iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, Vision Pro, and Apple TV, all with insights from friends, experts, and the Apple community. Because here we read those release notes so you don't have to. Well, hey, it's great to be back this week. We got a full panel this week, which is great. Great to see everybody. And wanted to see, let's go see who is here this week. And Jill McKinley, she is here. How you doing? Thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm doing great. I had a really productive week, and I'm glad it is going to be the weekend where it's going to rain. I'm excited.
Oh, I'm excited too. And I don't know. I don't get excited about rain, but speaking of excited, Chuck Joyner's here. How you doing, Chuck?
Oh, okay. I'll take that intro as better than some that have been given. I'm doing good. And I'm with Joe. I kind of like rainy, stormy days because then I'm not tempted to do anything, but actually get more done.
That is true. Also here, Marty Jencius, looking kind of good looking view here with your new camera. How you doing, Marty?
I don't get it about stormy days. And what your love for stormy days is. I'm going to stay inside whether it's stormy or beautiful outside. So it doesn't really matter. I have had the luxury of since Macstock being away from the university on a break. So I'm sleeping when I wanna. I get up when I wanna. I have a little work to do on the side. So I'm living the life of Riley.
Oh, yes.
Look it up, youngins.
I know what you're talking about. Eric Bolden, so great to have you here. You've got what's behind you today?
Hibiscus. Thought I'd go with a nice big flower, and since I was out trying to give it water today and kind of revive it from its wilted state.
Yep.
So I too am really glad that there's rain coming up because it makes life much easier.
We're about to incinerate. Essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jeff Gamet is here. He doesn't normally change his background, but this one is kind of interesting. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well. And I made this background because, of course, when we were all at Macstock, during Mike Schmidt's presentation, he talked about the three things you have to have in your background.
It's true.
Which is a bookcase, a plant, and a lamp. And in my actual background, there is no plant. There is a small sculpture, but not a plant. So I thought I should create that background, and there's more to it. So hold on, let me slide out of the way.
Oh, Rubik's Cube, and your chubs. Or I'm sorry, what are they called again?
Borbs.
Chubs. You know, potato. You know, I know.
I haven't had it.
We lost Jill. Well done.
I haven't had a chub since high school.
I know.
You can get a pill for that, Marty.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Joe.
That was
That's dead.
What can I say? Last but certainly not least, Guy Serle is here. How you doing, Guy?
I'm doing quite well, and everyone talking about weather always seems to remind me that I was born in the middle of a hurricane. So, there's that. I don't remember much about it because, of course, I was very young at the time.
Yes. Long time ago.
It was.
So,
isn't that a long time?
lot of big news to discuss this week. Apple just announced their core Q3 results, and they were, like I said, spoiler, it was really good. And then we're going to spend some time talking about the new upgrade plans that Apple had just released this week, because there's a lot of information about that and all the usual stuff we talk about. So let's go right into that breaking news. That was that Apple announced their Q3 results today as we're recording this. And I will say that they they had a total revenue of $109.4 billion. That's 16% from 1 year ago quarter. iPhone alone was 22% increase, and Mac revenue was 10.4%. That's incredible. I have this feeling that the Neo might have had a little bit to do with that.
Yeah.
And then services revenue went up 12%. That services just keeps cranking along here. And wearables about 6%. But iPads were down. They were down 6%. And then what had happened is all the financial analysts have got their usual complete transcript now, so you can review what Tim had talked about. But incredible numbers again. Looking at the revenue by category, iPhone still dominates 50%, services 28%, and you have Mac at 9%, and then wearables 7%, and iPad is at 6%. But again, the total profit was $29.8 billion, and that's quite a big percent change year over year, 27%. So it was a pretty amazing all in itself here. Gross margin they did well. Overall, these numbers look great. I don't know what else you could say. iPhone continues to dominate with everything that's been happening with this as well. So, I don't know what everybody else's thoughts were. I think both Chuck and I listened to the stream for the results live. So, what was your first impressions of what Tim had to say?
Just it's more good news. Just more, and the great thing about Tim is that he doesn't get overly excited, even when he has bad news to deliver. Right. It's all very prepared, of course, and designed to make you feel good. But on the other hand, the numbers don't lie. It's just year over year, quarters. Inevitably, the analysts at the end try to ask questions and kind of punch holes in some of it. And Tim and the new CFO seem to just be very prepared and able to say, well, that's not quite right. And here are some of the mitigating circumstances. So I thought it was a solid earnings call, obviously, and not to get ahead here, but all the analysts, I think, expressed appreciation for Tim since it was his last earnings call.
Yeah.
But it's good. And the new CFO, I don't think he didn't stumble once.
No, he did.
He was just as prepared as any of them have been before. So, yeah, if you earnings calls are not supposed to be fun, but Apple's can be. So I think it's worth listening to.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. At least because it's Tim's last. Well, it was his last one. So, and they say that was his 90th earnings call he did, and that's his final time. How fitting. Marty, what did you see?
I was watching Bridge on the River Kwai.
Oh, that's right.
And you texted me and asked me how's it going, and I said, the earning reports are about to start. So I got in at the beginning of it and listened to the whole thing. Thought it was pretty remarkable. Again, guess what? Apple's making money here. Apple's making money here. And it's not like they're making the same money they made last year. They're making more money than they made last year. So it was really impressive that way. And then I stayed on to listen to some of the questions. And some of the questions were really chub blockers. They were...
that word again, chub.
Yeah. You're going to see a thread.
I think it means what he thinks it means.
Might be a show title.
Where was there like, but Tim, what about this? What about you've said that there might be challenges in September. What are those challenges? What do you think is this based on the supply chain, or is it based on the production chain that's causing it? And it was all like downer questions there. And they did a wonderful job and just kind of as directly as they could answer the questions, or as they're willing to directly answer the questions they did. But I thought there's a lot to be grateful for and joyful. I want to get a side by side of another major tech company's earnings reports, and let's play comparison on that in terms of what they're facing and such. But that was my take on it.
Guy, what did you get out of this? Or take?
Well, I think they should sell the company and give the money back to the shareholders. You know, I find it amazing that one of their least profitable products, the iPad, is not that it's still going strong, but that they're still offering as many models as they do. And that's always kind of surprised me. I always thought that you should have like a high end, a low end, mini, and then that's it. I don't think we need the Air. I don't think we need a couple of the other product categories going along. We don't need all the different sizes. I think I would streamline the iPad line. And they keep talking about it. And of course, remember, not so much last quarter, but this quarter, it's going to be reflected with all the price increases. That's been kind of across the board with most of what Apple sells, including services. I think the biggest surprise going way back for most people is just how quickly services became like a major component in what Apple does these days. And, the fact that it is making them so much money, maybe it is time to look at and we get with a new CEO coming in who's a product guy. Mm-hmm. I'm getting the feeling we're going to see some shakeups as far as hardware goes. Not so much, brand new stuff. I think the entire Apple line across the board needs some streamlining, and I think the guy coming in is the one to do it.
Yeah. How about you, Eric?
Memory is probably the biggest issue.
It is.
And will be the biggest issue going forward. I think the story for this quarter and the story for the next several quarters would be totally different if there weren't that constraint on memory and storage. And it's somewhat unpredictable. So yeah, Guy, you may be right, because simplifying some of the product lines and reducing them a bit might also be a way to help deal with memory issues by not having as many different units to put stuff in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Marty, you wanted to add another comment about memory? You're muted.
You're on mute.
They talked about retooling some of the sites U.S. domestically in building one that's going to be focusing on bringing some of the. And then there was this discussion that was it Broadcom, that they're in some big deal with Broadcom, and I didn't quite understand the implications of that, but the overall implication was bringing more manufacturing back to the U.S., which will politically make people happy, particularly when they want to start using Chinese chips.
Yeah. Jill, go ahead.
The thing I always think of is that I feel like they do things the right way. They make all this money by selling great products people want to have and making good decisions instead of, I'm not meaning to pick on Google, but, selling ads and selling our data and, doing things the way that I think are the wrong ways to do things. And so it feels good when I think a good company makes money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So I think overall, some great numbers. Tim answered questions pretty directly, so I don't think it was a very good last hurrah. Looks like John Turnus is in the role. Really, he seemed pretty confident in any of the questions that were asked of him, and he had some remarks as well. So I think we're in good hands with John, and Apple's gonna continue to move forward with everything here. So. All right, let's go ahead and move on to some of the other topics this week. Vision Pro, with everything we're going to talk about today, I'm just going to touch on the release of 26.6. That was released across all the devices. Specifically, the Vision Pro, Vision OS 26.6 was the 6th update to the operating system. Really, there wasn't much to say here as far as the updates to 26.6, because all of us Vision Pro users are already on beta Vision OS 27. So, but definitely go ahead and get that upgrade if you're not a beta user, because there were some bug fixes across all of the platforms, which I'll be hitting on in just a minute here. So, but let's go ahead and go on to beta this week. iOS 27 and macOS 27 and all the other OSs are still in beta 4, so they're continuing on. We'll talk about some of the things that I found in iOS 27 that is interesting in a bit here, but really important to talk about is 26.6 now in iPad and iOS, and there are some security fixes for the iPhone and iPad. There's also an update that's going to optimize the Spotlight index in preparation for iOS 27 and iPad iOS 27. This should be one of the final updates, I would think, until iOS 27 is finally released in September. But you never know. There could be a .1 or a .2 if they find something. So be on the lookout for that. I think the one you got to really worry about most is if you go, I'll just jump over to Mac real quick. Is the Mac OS. You really, I guess all of them you really have to do, but the Mac specifically had almost 100 patches that it had to patch in Mac OS 26, now 26.6. So really, really important to just run the updates on all your devices. It'd really be a good idea to get that going. WatchOS and tvOS too. tvOS doesn't have much notable about it. WatchOS is there wasn't really a ton of WatchOS as far as updates, and it's going to be some of just all the new features they're going to be adding from 27. So, but again, as we always all recommend here on this panel, that we want to make sure just go ahead and update it. It's got some important updates that you really need to have, especially for security. So, I wanted to hit on a couple things. That's what's being found in iOS 27. The first thing I found to be interesting here is finally they're going to unlink the alarm volume from your iPhone ringer.
Finally,
2 decades, the iPhone alarm volume has matched the ringer. So you get to hear the ringer and you think it's ringing, but that's an alarm. I mean, we all probably, and I do too, then you have to go into the alarm and change it to what you want. Well, now you have separate controls, and it has all the settings here. This article in 9 to 5 Mac I put in here so people can take a look at this. You can turn on matching ringtone volume or not. So you at least now have control on how to do it. And then you can also adjust the volume. What a concept. So that's the second toggle for alerts and system sounds as well. So, well, way overdue. I think everybody here has a good thought on that. I had not looked at it yet on the beta device I'm using, but this is great news. I think everybody here can agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yet, I'm not going to praise Apple for giving us this feature. Yeah. They shouldn't be praised for waiting 20 years to give us something that should have been in version 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And this other one is another one that I've been waiting for years because I don't think I'm the only one that does this. If you actually accidentally press the dictation or voice icon after sending a text and messages, your music may pause and then your iPhone will start listening. It's a small annoyance, but no, it's not. It's a big annoyance, honestly. But it's a frequent one. I do it all the time. We're all sitting there typing your message in messages, and then and boop, you hit it, and then and then the worst part is once you've finished a message, and then you inadvertently tap it and don't realize it, and you're talking, and someone's talking to you. All of a sudden, there's a long message. I better not send it. I'll be in trouble. Then get a backspace and highlight out and erase it. So this is just so overdue, and it has some more steps here, which you're going to see in iOS 27 as well for this. So I'm sure everybody here agrees this is a huge annoyance, and I think it's welcome that we're going to be seeing this very soon here. And then lastly, in this here is the iOS 27, the all new phone and FaceTime features. The phone app is now going to have a major update. It's going to have that's called Call Context, where you call a company. The phone app can surface relevant information from the Mail app. So it goes to the Mail app on your iPhone and looks for, like, they're giving an example. Like, say you call an airline and it might show your confirmation code for an upcoming flight and your reservation code if you're calling a hotel. It doesn't listen to what you're saying, but instead looks at the number you're calling and then links to that details in the Mail app. that's a pretty cool thing, I must say. And then it is an Apple Intelligence feature that runs, it's on device. So it does require the iPhone 15 or Pro or newer. And also works when you make a phone call from your iPad or your Mac as well. So FaceTime has a couple new features as well. It's got, the biggest thing is dual capture on the iPhone 17 models and the iPhone Air. You can use the front and back cameras at the same time while on a FaceTime call. That's kind of cool. So you're talking to somebody, hey, let me flip the phone over. Hey, look here. Well, now you've got both cameras going, and you don't have to do that anymore. I have to tell my wife and her sisters about this. They're going to be like ecstatic. It's and another few things that they did is connection quality. We'll have, when you have a bad connection, FaceTime calls will now have a better quality than before. Wi-Fi and cellular. iOS 27 is going to have better transitioning from Wi-Fi to cellular connection and vice versa. So you'll lose connection less when moving between networks. So some cool things to look forward to in this as well. So I thought I wanted to put those of note that's coming out here. So, all right. And then I did talk about Mac OS, and that is all we were going to really talk about this week, is just make sure you do your updates here. So it's really super important to do that. So I wanted to talk a little bit this week on our other topics, is the iPhone upgrade changes. So I know we had a lot of discussion about this week, and Apple did announce that it is upgraded right now just in the United States. It's a new leasing program that's going to be provided by Klarna that offers eligible customers monthly payment options for Apple devices, including the iPhone, which will start at $17.99 a month, and the Apple Watch, which started at $11.99 a month. And they have a press release that talked about all the things that are going to be coming out here. And you can do this on any of the iPhones, going all the way down to the 17e if you so choose. And same thing with the Apple Watch. But I guess the debate has been, is this something that Apple's getting into, as far as is this the thing they're getting into, as far as this, maybe they're getting into the hardware rental business? Is it something like that we could be seeing? That I just really think is it's just like they said, they retired the. Let me talk a little bit about the upgrade program itself, because I'll give you a little bit of details before we get into this. So that long running Apple upgrade program, that thing was like, God, I mean, it was like, I think it was 12 or 14 years. I mean, it went a long time, and I was in it every year. I think about it. They decided to replace it. Well, it does look like a financing change. The biggest question is whether Apple is shifting customers towards a hardware subscription model. So is this real? So that's what I really want to know. Is Apple turning hardware into a subscription? They've made so much money on services. Here's another service they're going to offer, and so the key points of it is the end of the program. So really, what the cool thing is, if you want to continue to keep the phone you have currently, like I looked up how much I still owe, and I'm tempted to maybe buy it out and keep it, because I always like to have extra phones, and it is nice to have the higher end model to be able to test things. Because the 17e, although it's great, you don't have a lot of the things that the 17 Pro and Pro Max can do right now. So I'm tempted. I don't know if I'm going to, but I'm tempted. But that's the thing. If you choose not to upgrade this year, which a lot of people do, but rarely with the upgrade program, because usually I think all of us who have been on the plan in the past, we just trade it in, and then it's great. You trade it in, it pays off the loan, and then you go and you start over again. And then I checked to see, because all of us who were in the program got an email from Apple saying, it's the end of this, but look how great this program is. So that's what you can do. If you can pay it off, or you can continue to pay it till it's paid off, and then it ends, and then that's the end of it. And then the other thing you got to think about is the Apple upgrade program the upgrade program includes iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple Watch, with the partnership with Klarna. It's leasing versus financing and ownership. It's a reoccurring revenue and customer retention. That's what really Apple is looking at when it comes to this. So where do you guys think? And one more thing, I'll hit a couple of things on here. We'll get some talking points on here. Is the impact on resale value and the refurbished market? Because a lot of people are now going to turn to the refurbished market to sell it, and which you generally, with this upgrade program, you would just trade it in. Then you got to compare it with the carrier financing. So Jeff, I'm going to start with you. Where do you think this upgrade program is going to go? And would you do it? I'm I'm kind of on the fence if I'm going to do it, or I may finance it with the Apple Card, but I don't know.
Well, okay. So I'll start with the obvious answer for me. No, I'm not going to do it because I'm on Mint Mobile.
Right.
Therefore, I can't.
Right.
Okay. Now let's look at it from the perspective of if I weren't on Mint Mobile, would I do this? For me, someone who wants to have a current iPhone, but historically has not been doing that for a while, this could make sense because it gives me or anyone else that wants to have the newest model all the time a very easy pathway to do that. And I look at this exactly the same as a car lease program because based on everything I've seen and read, it works just like a car lease program. You get into it, you pay your monthly thing. At the end of the lease, you give the car back, or excuse me, the phone back, the Mac back, whatever, and you get a new one, and now you have a new lease going forward. But if for some reason you're like, actually, this one I really want to keep, okay, then there's a payoff balance or a cure number that you pay, and then that buys you out of the lease, and you keep the phone or the Mac or whatever. So I think for a lot of people, this is going to be a much more enticing program than the upgrade program because they can now keep all of their primary Apple gear up to date.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck, I know we've been talking about this week. Where had your thoughts been as we've been reading through all of the information that's been out there for this new program?
To Jeff's point, you're going to be locked into a carrier. All right. So setting that aside, and then after that, all the other comments apply to all of these. From everything I've read, there's going to be no difference, assuming you keep up your payments and all, that at the end of your lease period, you will have spent the same amount of money as if you bought it on day one. So, that seems to be no matter what your configurations for some of the other devices or your iPhone. So part of me says, why don't you just set up an automatic payment and do it? The danger, of course, always is if something happens and you miss one of the payments. And then you're going to start paying big because of the interest rates. So I look at it as it really doesn't matter if you're comfortable sticking your hand in the pocket and pulling out all the money right now, or if you're comfortable leaving it in the bank, letting it draw a couple cents worth of interest over those 2 or 3 years, depending on how long the loan goes. Great. Just in the immortal words of Dave Hamilton, don't get caught. Because if you do, then it's going to cost you money. Yeah. Listen, I think this is a very positive thing because especially as prices go up, and I'm not talking necessarily about just the increases that Apple recently announced that were so controversial, but across the board, as prices go up, this lets people get the devices they want or even need in a more controlled fashion. And I got to point this out. If I understand it correctly, I don't see any penalties for early payments or early buyout. So if I decide that this is just driving me crazy to watch this check go out of my bank account every month, in 6 months, I can just pay the darn loan off, just like if I bought it the first day and be done with it. Now it's mine completely. So, I don't see a losing proposition here unless you miss a payment and then you're going to start to get burned.
Yep. Marty, how about you?
But Chuck, one thing people do need to keep in mind to go along with everything you said, and I agree with what you're saying, is that unlike the Apple Upgrade program, which included your AppleCare subscription or payment, this does not. So you're buying AppleCare separately.
And Jeff, thank you for bringing it up. But I tell you what, to me, it's a pass-through because if I buy my phone day one and pay it off, I still got to buy AppleCare. If I'm buying it, go through the leasing program, And day one, I got to put AppleCare on. If I'm not stupid, I'd put AppleCare on it, and I'm going to pay that the whole time. So it's the iPhone upgrade program is gone, and so it's fair to make the comparison back to what it was, but it really doesn't matter anymore because that's not an option.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Marty, what are your thoughts on this?
So I haven't quite figured out the math the way Chuck has. So I'm asking a question to Chuck before I weigh in on this. So at the end of 24 months, you would have paid the full amount of the phone because there's with just the payments. But with the lease program, if you want to keep it, you still have to make additional payments with it. So it seems like pardon?
Or payment. It's there. You're going to owe a set amount at the end.
Yeah.
Right. And Marty, and one of the websites, I guess maybe I should have made that a little bit clearer. Yes, to own the phone, you're going to have to pay that extra little amount that's left. And it might be more than just a little, but let's do it this way. Your total outlay to buy the phone, to own the phone, will be exactly the same as what it would have been if you'd bought it day one. So that's better phrasing.
Yeah, and my concern would be that people see this as an entrance into a luxury item that they've never been able to get. And they're like, okay, I can do it for $35 a month, or maybe I can't. And they find out that they can't. So, and then I don't, well, let's save some money. Let's not put AppleCare on it. And then something happens to the phone and it's even worse. Mm-hmm. And then, you can't turn a leased car in with a broken headlight without paying for the broken headlight. So I think there are lots of challenges to this program. I think it will seem on the surface very attractive to people who don't necessarily have the liquid assets to be able to get into something like this, but they will be allowed to get into something like this or get themselves into something like this. And then the potential for damage or hidden costs at the end of it for them to keep their phone. I think it's a little bit of a carny thing that Apple's doing with this arrangement.
Hey, Chuck, I need your help here. Because I think I must be doing the math wrong. So I did a quick Google search to see what an iPhone Pro would cost. And so $32.99. So $33 for 256 gig iPhone. So I did that at 24 months, and that's $792.
Okay.
Which is significantly lower than the cost of that iPhone.
Right. Because at the end, you still have to make that extra payment.
Oh, I misunderstood what you were saying. I'm with you now. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you still pay the full price of a phone if you want to buy it out. Right. Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Right.
Okay.
Or see, this is where some people are saying it's a hook. Other people feel it's a good idea and attractive. That if you want to pay that 24 months, you can either pay the additional money and the phone becomes yours, or you can trade it in and start the whole process again.
Yeah, mm-hmm. and now you still have the latest and greatest, and you're paying less than you would if you bought it outright.
Right,
but you're just still making monthly payments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but you can't trade in a phone with a broken headlight.
No, you're right.
And expect to get value for it.
Yeah. Hence AppleCare being so important.
Yeah, right. And they're going to be a lot of gotchas that people figure out along the way. But you better believe that the financial people have figured it out. So I guess maybe, pardon me, maybe I'm a little biased because I treat my phones very, very well. I mean, I put screen protectors on them, I put cases on them, and so when I go to trade in a phone, it's always pristine. But that's me. I see a lot of people abuse a lot of phones.
I see a lot of student phones, and they don't look that way.
Yeah.
And this, is attractable to people that don't have the liquid or the loose income that we might have. So it makes a lot of sense to us. It's like, oh, this is a cool new thing, but I don't think it's attracting us because we're buying our phones outright generally, or we're used to the previous upgrade program where we're paying the full price of the phone over 24 months.
Mhm.
And that was that.
Yeah.
I was looking at these numbers some yesterday, and part of the discussion Brian Chaffin and I had about this, Brian was thinking, wow, this would be great for people that want to get in on the lowest price iPhone. And even though the 17E is included in this, I don't think Apple's going to sell many through this program.
No.
For the 17E, I think for that market, those are the people that are going to buy the phone and keep a hold of it for a long time. And so they're going to go through their carrier's deal where they pay for their service and get the phone free along with it.
Right. Nope.
Yeah. Pardon me. One last item.
Yeah, of course.
The trade-in, scratch that. The rollover, if you want at the end of that 24 months to get the new phone, that part is just exactly like what the old iPhone program was. Only the difference is that we could turn it out after a year and get the current one.
Right.
Now you're going to have to keep that phone for 2 years. So you're not going to always have the latest and greatest. And the
Or
only
pay half.
solution, I'm sorry, Joe?
Or pay half of it and
I don't know. That hasn't been made clear, at least not in the articles I've read so far. The only other thing you can do is you buy your iPhone outright, you use it. If you decide you want the next new one, you either trade it into Apple or sell it all outright, and then let that cash fund your next iPhone.
Yeah.
So a lot of options here and a lot of things to think about. And Marty's broken headlight thing is a real good point.
It is. It is.
Or just lease a new phone every year, and one number you give to your bookie and one number you give to your family.
And everybody gets a chub.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, one of the things too.
yeah,
One of the things too is if you decide to end the lease early, you can end the lease early. You do have to pay off the remaining amount on the lease, but they still have to return the device. You can't keep it. That's from what I'm reading here.
Yeah, but if you're paying off the terms of the lease, you're not paying for a full phone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Because I didn't see that.
You're missing that last payment.
Okay. All right. So it's really confusing. I mean, it's like leasing a car, honestly. I mean, you people who do that, it's like, do you want the latest and greatest in a car? It's different. I mean, you lease a car for 3 years and then, then you want a new car. Most of us keep, on average, probably, I mean, I've had my car 8 years. Some people keep it 10 and 12 and 14 years longer, depending on who they are. So it really all depends on where this is when it comes to that. So, and then I was just looking at some of the pricing here too, is the fact that, you got 24-month plans for the iPhone and the Apple Watch, and the iPad is 36 months. And so is the Mac. So you're going to be, if you just,
Well, you can choose between 24 and 36.
okay, well, yeah, it's listed here. I guess I didn't look at that. I'm looking at Mac Rumors here, showing that what the cost was at 36 months. But okay, I mean that may be possible. But yeah, it's definitely something to be clear of. That's what causes this whole thing. This is very confusing. That the old program, yeah, it's gone, but it was so easy. Now it's a lot more complicated. Anything else you wanted to bring in on this, Jill?
I bought my MacBook Air with a 3-year on my Apple Card with 3 years with payments spread over the 3 years,
really?
interest free. I thought.
No, I had to do it for a year when I bought my MacBook Air. Did they have it?
I think mine's 3 years.
So on a Pro,
Yeah.
they did it for 3 years. Okay.
No, it was an Air.
Oh, it was an Air. Huh.
Yeah, so I don't know, and I'm like, yeah, cool. I mean, why would I turn away free loan?
Something may have changed
I
because I
guess.
bought one of them not too long ago,
Yeah.
and it's only a year for me.
Okay,
so-
yeah.
So, sorry, I'm keeping us on the topic,
No.
but I'll be fast.
No,
I went back and double checked Apple's terms because I was pretty sure you could get a new iPhone every year. And the answer is yes, without having to do a buyout. You just do a 12-month lease. That's an option for an iPhone.
Yeah. This was a good quote from Webb here. My only concern is Apple's stays on the irregular upgrade cycle of phones, and I hate to be in the same situation when there's 12, uh, 12 leaves, but the new iPhone doesn't come out for 14 months because it gets delayed. Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's very possible. Yeah, I mean, Webb and I and many of us want the new phone every year, and that's where it's going to be. And it's 12 months. So usually it's 12 months every year when we get a new iPhone. Not everybody upgrades. So someone like me and Chuck and many of us who like to get the new iPhone every year, this leasing is probably not going to be beneficial to you. I don't think. Whereas
I can offer you strategy on that that you may not like.
Okay.
Instead of getting the new iPhone when it comes out, wait 2 months, then get the new iPhone. So you're always 2 months behind the release, but that will give Apple that buffer in case they decide to release a new model a month or two later than they did the previous year.
Or what I may do is just, I think on the iPhone, if you do it on your Apple Card, I'm with a carrier like T-Mobile, that I can do it through the Apple Card and finance it. I think it's only I believe it's only a year on the card, or it might be 2 years. I'm not financed a iPhone before, but the good thing with the Apple Card, you can pay it off whenever you want because you just go ahead and just pay it off. So I mean, there's just so much confusion, in my opinion, on all this. Eric, you've been quiet. What are your thoughts on this?
You're right about the confusion. I've done all of the combinations, and what I ended up with a couple of things. One, I've got 2 phones on a single device. So now I'm stuck having to get an unlocked device. So I just pay for it up front because otherwise I can't get phones from 2 different carriers on the single device. Or I would have to have 2 different phones, which I did for a while, and then you stagger when they're upgraded. So upgrade one year, upgrade the other the next year, then I'm always getting a new phone. Um, but then I hit, you always have really nice phones. How about letting me know when you're done with your phone, you have an upgrade, and I'll buy your phone because then I get a used phone that I know kind of what you did with it. And I have a whole list of people. And so now it doesn't really make any sense for me to do anything other than just to pay for the phone up front. And when I get ready to switch to a different phone, I take the phone I have, sell it to somebody from the list, use that money to partially fund the new phone. So yeah, there's some potential niceties, but it doesn't help in my particular situation.
Yeah. Guy, you have thoughts?
I do have thoughts. This is actually kind of a brilliant move on Apple's part because they're not the ones that are taking the risk. They're not the ones that are having to administer this. Basically, I think what they're doing is they are selling Klarna. Klarna, is that it?
Klarna, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They are selling Klarna or giving them a good discount on new Apple gear that they in turn around and give to people as part of this lease program. And Apple doesn't have to do anything at all. So they eat a little bit of the margin so that somebody else has to handle all of the headaches of managing a program like this. With the Apple iPhone upgrade program, that was all on Apple. Apple had to manage all of that. And now they're saying, okay, we don't have to worry about that at all. It's all going to go over to Klarna and let them deal with the headaches. But something else that I don't know if this has been brought up before, if you have an existing device, you can trade that in and have that applied to the amount that you owe on the lease. For example, I've been looking at getting an M5 MacBook Air, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte drive. with the recent increases, that's getting way up there. But through the lease program, I can turn in my M1 MacBook Pro at, I think, $510 is what they were talking about offering me for it. And for a 24-month lease, that M5 MacBook Air is now about $35 a month. If I go to the 36, that reduces it to barely over $25 a month. Okay, even someone like me that's pretty much on a fixed income, that's affordable. And I can turn around at the end of the lease and say, okay, well, now I can get the M7 and still just be paying this relatively small amount as compared to what the outlay would be to get it out.
And that's what makes this program so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, we'll continue to get information here to find out what's going on with this program as we find things out and as we get closer. You can do it now because you can purchase, if you haven't already bought a 17 Pro Max, or any of the newer the current products now, you could do it. It's not like you have to wait, because that's what a lot of us would do, is we'd wait till the new products would come out, specifically the iPhone. I'm gonna do it a little bit, see what I think is gonna be most comfortable for me, and see where it goes. I think most of us here are probably going to be in that same boat, and then make that decision. Because, you know me, I always have to have a new iPhone, and I think many of us here do. So, any closing thoughts on this before we move on? We missed. All right. So let's move on to one other thing. We were just talking about AppleCare, and that was the biggest thing. This does not come with AppleCare. So if you're gonna buy at least the phone, you have to purchase AppleCare as well. So it's been very busy with AppleCare Plus this past month here as we record, and they've made some changes in pricing. They raised the price on the in the U.S. On monthly and annual AppleCare Plus subscription plans for Macs and iPads by 50 cents and $5 a year, 50 cents a month and $5 a year respectively. Same thing happened in Canada and Japan, and then with the theft and loss plans for the iPad and Apple Watch extending to 5 countries in Japan, Australia, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. AppleCare One is now expanding too. So starting on Tuesday, August 4th, it will be available in Australia, Germany, and United Kingdom and France. So this is that plan. You could save some pretty good money. I did start putting some of my devices on the $19.99 a month plan. It's limited to 3 devices, but you can add multiples after that, and it adds another $6 a month for the AppleCare One. And so I started it up on devices that were due to be to drop off of what I'd already paid for the year, because we always pay for that. We had been paying for the 1 or 2 years in the past, so it almost seems that if you do the math on this, it's pretty good. Anybody? I know, Marty, I think you dabbled in the AppleCare One as well, did you not?
Yeah, I did. And I have a tendency to overprotect my devices, and I have lots of devices. So I got what I could get out of the AppleCare Plus, and then they have the options for adding devices that are sometimes cheaper in cost than what it would be if you bought the AppleCare just for the device. So you have to do some cost comparison between, if I had an iPad on here, what is AppleCare Plus going to charge me versus if I just get the AppleCare directly on the iPad itself separately, what's the cost? And then you make the decision from there. So I wind up splitting between both AppleCare Plus and then direct AppleCare for certain devices based on the cost in Apple One.
Okay.
Hey, Marty, I'm dropping a link into our chat that you might find relevant. It's an online AppleCare calculator, and I'll drop this over into the YouTube chat as well.
Put it in the show notes as well.
Oh, yes, I'll put it in the show notes. That makes a lot of sense. You're really smart, Dave.
Anybody else? Anybody else using the AppleCare One programs right now? You are, Eric?
Not right now. I mean, most of my, other than my Mac Mini, which doesn't go anywhere, all of my portable devices. I mean, I'm still on an iPhone 16 Pro. M1 MacBook Pro and a 4-year-old iPad Pro. So it would make no sense for me to get AppleCare 1 for all of those devices because it's at this wouldn't really be worth it.
Or they
Other than the mid, and as it's not a portable device, unless I'm standing over it with a glass of water and just go, oops, there's no point in doing that.
Yeah, if you go back to those older devices, they may not even cover it anymore. When they go back that far. I mean, I've got an iPad. I have an iPad Pro 13-inch M4, and I'm still covering that one because it's not even it's a little over a year old. So the warranty AppleCare just ran out, so I added it to the plan. So, but that's cool with the Apple Calculator. Check that out in the show notes. Anybody else? Is anybody else using the AppleCare one? I don't think anybody else is here besides.
Yeah.
Eric, you here.
Well, two things. One, if you have a Vision Pro, it's cheaper to use AppleCare 1 than it is to just put AppleCare on it.
Yeah.
The only thing is, if you have 2 Vision Pros, you can't have them both on the plan.
Nope. That one over there.
That doesn't seem to be a huge issue for most people.
No.
No.
Hashtag ask me how I know.
Marty.
So, but it has slowed down my, do I want to upgrade until I know kind of how this is going. However, it was really useful. I had some older M1 machines that the warranties were all expiring or had recently expired, and I was able to then add those to AppleCare 1, and that was well worth it. Since the cost had already been covered, 2 more devices, and then it was an even better deal. And now I'm not panicking so much when I, carry the machines around wherever I go.
Yeah, my M2 Vision Pro, I know the AppleCare comes up in September. That's when I bought it 2 years ago. So yeah, I'll add it. I mean, I'm gonna hold on to it, and that's a whole nother topic we talked about with M5 versus M2. But I'll continue to cover it. I was covering my M1 MacBook Pro, M1 Pro, for another year, but that plan wasn't available, so I paid whatever's I think it was like $149 for the year, because it's still a really good machine, even though it was an older processor. So I did cover that. So, anything else you want to hit on this before we move on here? All right. So I am excited. The fact that Ted Lasso is coming out next week. Woohoo! I'm super stoked. In fact, I saw they did a premiere. Apple had a premiere to see the first 2 episodes, and notably, Justine was there. What a surprise! And she interviewed John Turnus, and he hadn't even seen it yet, and they were having that. I think the press invite, so they let the first 2 episodes to be able to be seen. So it's going to be 1 week from, I believe,
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yes, it says right here in my face here. Apple, it's August 5th, and that's be the premiere. But the one episode will be released every Wednesday until October 7th. So there's not a lot of episodes, but that's a fair amount. August, September, it's like 12, 13, 14 episodes, which is great. I've so missed this show, and it's exciting. Is anybody as excited as I am to see Ted Lasso?
I won't be able to watch it until Thursday because August 5th is my wife's birthday.
Oh.
And I just can't sit there and go, all right,
Honey.
I'm going to go downstairs on your birthday and watch a show that you don't want to watch. So I'll see you later. Yeah.
Happy birthday, honey.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. I'm leaving.
Wait, but Stranger Worlds, we got to go watch that too, and that could be on the birthday too. So that's next Thursday.
Right, and then the new episode of Silo.
Yeah, Silo.
Oh, yeah.
Your Thursday's kind of screwed this time.
Once it's Thursday, it doesn't matter. At that point, I close the doors to the family room.
I'm watching.
Big out sign and just go at it. Make sure I have lots to drink. Okay, yeah, I was going to say something else, but I'm going to stop right there. I'll just make sure.
Please do. Yeah. Chuck, has you and Charlie have any discussions about Ted Lasso?
Yeah, actually, we did a recording of TV Plus Talk today that will go out next week.
No spoilers.
But just Charlotte and I agree on a number of things. We don't agree on everything, though, about this new season and the implications of it. So and I will leave it at that because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I'm not sure I'm quite as giddy over it as you are, Dave, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Over the moon.
Over the moon.
I am.
Yeah. So as we know, it's going to be Ted Lasso's is coming back to England because he did return to the States after season 3, and he's going to be coaching a professional soccer team that is women, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Lady Greyhounds.
The Lady Greyhounds. Yes. And most of the cast came back. Brett Goldstein's back, and Hannah Winningham. I adore her. She just makes the show so fun. And she's just a very fun person. So yeah.
Mhm.
So
She was in Game of Thrones as a very fun, not fun person.
she was. Yes. So yep.
Yeah, if I wasn't married, that would be the kind of woman that I would need.
Moving on.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
Very tall. I think she's like
Oh, she is very tall.
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
All right. Next story, Gemini for Mac. Google did, if you recall, that the Gemini, Google did release the Gemini apps, a dedicated app for the Mac, and it's what they did today is they added some quick keyboard shortcuts that activates the voice mode. That's by long pressing the function key, you can speak naturally to Gemini in any window on your machine. And because Gemini supports that intelligent dictation, users can speak to the chatbot using natural language. And like I don't do that already in ChatGPT with their voice control. So, but it's coming out globally for everybody on the Mac in English, with Google planning more languages in the future. Does anybody I have Gemini. It's part of my plan because I pay for Google Workspace, but anybody here use Gemini from time to time? Nobody?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I've played with it some.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's either
as much as it's tied to Google.
Yeah. That's the big reason.
I decided to play with it today after this since this article I was going to talk about this article, and it's interesting because you know how ChatGPT just goes out to all sources. You know what? And when you type in something to search for, let me go out to Google. That's what it says. So anyway, yeah, that's out there for those who do use it. And
Can I just bring up one thing
yes,
here?
please.
And please, everyone tell me if I'm just really over the deep edge and paranoid.
Yes.
But
Sure, you are. Yeah.
okay, well,
But continue.
system-wide voice dictation means that it has to be listening to you all the time to be, even if you're not using it, to be able to take your dictation, right?
No, what it means is that you can use it anywhere in the system, not that it's always listening.
Okay.
So you
all
have
right.
to trigger it on, and think of it like using your keyboard. You can use that system wide, but it's not doing anything if you're not touching it.
Okay, that's fair. It just seems like Google is trying to sneak into the operating systems at deeper levels. And again, maybe I'm just being paranoid, but
You are not being paranoid.
You're not being paranoid.
okay, I'm not being paranoid. Okay, good. All right.
And and if you want to look at a perfect example of why you should be paranoid, look at what Adobe has done for decades.
Yeah.
They want to be your operating system. They when you install Creative Cloud, that intertwines so deeply in your operating system that not even Adobe knows how to completely extract that back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Sign me up for
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Hey,
funny how
Chuck.
the companies that you used to really have a lot of respect for, some of that respect gets tarnished as they try to impose themselves. Yeah, sorry, Marty.
Chuck, will you say this slowly for me and so the listeners can all hear it? My voice is my password. Well, I guess I just screwed up because now I just said that.
Yeah.
So
Well, let me see if I can help you. My voice is Marty's password. So,
you will never get into your Mac again.
yeah.
And I have both of those recordings. I'm getting into everyone's accounts.
You
I'm going
get
to have
to
all
go
the
to
money.
some-
See you later,
yeah.
suckers.
Yeah, Chuck, you now get to go to some dark places. So
Oh, good.
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Anybody want to get into my computer?
Yeah.
No.
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 Big no.
Oh,
I don't even want to go to your state. I don't know what state it is. I'm not going.
The state of mind.
oh my gosh.
Okay,
So-
my favorite comment of the night in the live chat.
Okay.
I never figured out if I should trust keyboards. Well done.
Who was that?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Small steps with AI.
Oh, well, please share,
That's me.
Jill. That is
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never figured, because I think my brother was bringing out that you get these third-party keyboards, and they say they can also read the data, but it's limited in some kind of way. But I've never understood: is it limited enough? And the same thing with the Google thing. Is that going to be limited enough? Yeah, I don't know.
I just like the option that they have that you can opt in for screen-aware reasoning mode, which allows Gemini to see what's on the Mac screen and complete tasks. Highlight files, images, text, or documents, and then do something with them. That doesn't seem at all a problem.
No.
Pretty sure Hugging Face wants to enter the chat right now and say, guys.
Remember Microsoft and whatever rewind ever that was, where we'll tell you what you had on your screen 5 minutes ago. No.
You have to.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on, and we'll go to the next story. Qualcomm. Qualcomm expects Apple modem revenue to drop faster than expected. Qualcomm expects that Apple revenue will decline faster than the previously anticipated, because this was the CEO, Cristiano Amon, told Reuters in an interview that the company's earnings call for their third fiscal quarter of 26. He chalks it up to the loss of supply constraints, which will reduce the share of Qualcomm's components used in the next iPhone launch well below its earlier 20% estimate. And I think the revenue is going to drop even more, because I believe Apple only has a contract with them until 2027, so next year. And as we all know, Apple's already started developing their own modems, as it is already with the 5G modem that they have got now. So that leasing agreement ends in March of 2027. And it's not clear if Apple will even extend it. I would tend to doubt it if they've already been putting in their own modems. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, I think that Qualcomm is trying to get ahead of the negative press by letting people know now that they're going to see declining revenues. It wouldn't surprise me if Apple did sign a new contract with Qualcomm, but for a much lower volume than they previously have had. Because I'm expecting the supply constraints that Qualcomm is experiencing, all the other companies are going to be experiencing as well. And Apple's going to need to spread the love a little bit so that it can get all the chips that it needs. But I don't expect Qualcomm to have nearly the volume of business with Apple that they previously had after 2027.
Yeah. Jill, what do you think?
I guess I don't know enough about it, to be honest. I know that there. At first, I was, thinking about when they made their own chips, and I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about it. I think Qualcomm's a quality company, and Qualcomm, see, quality's right in their name, but I just don't know I know a hardware on the Windows side. I just don't understand. I guess there's as much on the Mac side.
Mm-hmm. Guy, what do you think?
Jill, to your comment, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. That kind of applies. Qualcomm is going to be in trouble for two reasons. Number one, Apple isn't going to. I don't think Apple will redo their contract with. I just don't see the point of them doing that. But as far as the rest of it, they're not going to be able to make that up with going to companies and selling modems, because if they could have done that, they already would have. And it's just not there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I've supported, I guess Apple every time they've made their own chip. With the M series, I'm like, okay, let's see what you did. And they did great. So, that's all I have to go on, really.
Yep. So, Chuck, you got anything on this?
Just that I'm not sure how much difference this makes to anyone but us.
Right.
Right.
That's one of all the things, the modem, it either works or it doesn't. And unless you're sitting there with speed tests and marking things down and have another phone to compare it to, excuse me, I'm just not sure that this. Listen, from a business standpoint, it's absolutely interesting, and we're back to the whole supply chain discussion. And let's please not go back there again. But other than that, it's like, okay, does the modem work? Does the modem work for me? And now, if it performs just horribly, and there's a noticeable problem, then that's another matter. But overall, I don't think for the little bit at the moment that the bandwidth we all have access to, that people pay that much, normal buyers out there don't pay that much attention.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
All right. So let's move on to one last story here. And actually, it's an app. I found this to be a little interesting. It's called Granola. It is an app that's been on all the other devices, like Apple on the iPad and the iPhone, but it's now on the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch has this in the settings app in the Apple TV as well. So it can be downloaded in the settings app for the Apple TV as well as the Apple Watch. And they had this out, and what it does is it has a way of being able to record with AI in Zoom. So I thought this would be a little fascinating to see. I had just noticed this afternoon as I was creating the notes here. I don't know if anybody has any experience using this. This was on tvOS, and it was interesting as well. That's going to be now on watchOS. It looks like go ahead.
Yeah, I can speak to this. I use Granola.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And
tell us.
Yes, now I have not turned it on the watch yet because I want to do some other testing. But Granola has saved my bacon so many times.
Okay.
And it is very useful. The free version is very useful, which probably they'll change eventually. But it will generate the notes for me. It will give me the action items. I've tried several of these meeting recorders, and I can absolutely advocate for Granola as long as it doesn't violate any legal or corporate guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you want to check. But beyond that, yeah, its function, top notch.
It is. Yeah, actually, everybody's rated a 5, so it must be really good. I didn't even know about this until I saw this that it added to the watch. Is this something that you work with just Zoom, or is it other platforms too?
As long as it can hear you, because it doesn't install anywhere.
Oh, it doesn't.
It listens.
Oh, it just listens. Okay.
So it could be Zoom. It could be Google Meet. It could be that other thing that starts with T. It really doesn't matter.
Tempura.
Trash.
I like tempura.
Good team thinking there.
Yeah. But and listen, if you were to put your phone on speaker, yeah, it'll work with that too.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So the watch is just going to be a modified version of that.
Right. Oh, I might have to check this out, because there's times a lot of times people record it. I'm sure you do as well. That just for personal use, because you just want to go back and review anything that wasn't recorded. I mean, most of the times I'm going to say at Teams meetings that are recorded, and you have to go back. I mean, it does a fairly good job where it does a transcript, so you can see what, like I missed a meeting last week when I was out on vacation, and I went through and just got the highlights. I didn't have to listen to the whole thing. But as long as it's giving notes, it's great. So, all right, well, good. I'm glad you give us some insights on this. This is I might be downloading this and using it. So, all right, so let's go on to things we found this week, and we're going to start with Marty. You found an app, it looks like.
Yeah, this is an app that I've been playing. Of course, I've got a break here, so I've been playing with different kinds of apps. One of them that I talked about was Dockstar, Dockstar, creating little widgets of docks around your screen.
Mhm.
And then this one I found and have started playing with. It's called Droppy. Droppy will use your island or your notch, and you can put different things to program into it to drop down that will allow you access to different things. It's getdroppy.app is the site. What is interesting about this is it's on sale until tomorrow. And you can get one license for $7, and then it goes up to $10. So it's something that you could play with and customize your either, again, if you don't have a notch, it will create a dynamic island for you on if you have second monitors and things like that, external monitors, it will be able to create those islands on there. And it's just got some
Now
real
it just
cool
suddenly became super
customization.
useful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you can buy, I think you can buy one license for $7. You
Right.
can buy two licenses for 12. And so if you're thinking of this is something that I want to get before tomorrow, go buy a couple of licenses and then you'll be able to use them on multiple Macs.
Yeah, it looks like two keys is $11.88 and 5 keys is $26.21. I think you just spent my money.
And they I looked at the developer has been improving this constantly or consistently, so it's not like this week I just added this little thing in, please come and buy my app. If you look at the history, they've been making changes to this app along the way, which is pretty cool.
Nice. Very good. Good find there. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Who else we got? We got me. I blame Jeff for this one.
You're welcome. I see the link and I'm super excited for you.
Yeah, because now we're going to be twinsers because we're going to have this new bag.
Awesome.
Tom, how do you say his last name? Bean?
Bin.
Okay.
Ben.
This cafe
Tom
bag,
Bin.
because I was just on vacation, had the pleasure of hanging out with Jeff and his lovely girlfriend Angela for a few days this past week in beautiful Denver, Colorado.
So awesome to see
It was
you.
great to see you. And when you travel, I had this MacStock little thing that they gave us, and I've been holding my wallet in this little guy, and yeah, it's nice, but gets kind of bulky because it is nice to have my car key, and my wallet in here, so I don't have to. Every day I'm like, where'd I put my key? Where I put my wallet? So I got to. And I have just in here, but I think this one's going to be really nice because it's a cafe bag. It's called a medium cafe bag, and it's like basically a sling bag that goes. That's how you wear it, right? You just put it around your shoulder. And
Do you need to have an actual product held up at screen? I'll go grab mine.
if you want to, by the time you go get it,
right
by the time you get here. So it comes in the different colors. I went with the blue. It's actually going to be here in a couple of days. And it's nice. I mean, I think it does have some aims towards artists. So that makes sense why Jeff likes it more, because it does have, you can hold a lot of great things in it, and it's not terribly expensive. It's like $90. You buy it directly at their website, tombeam.com. Links in the show notes, and Jeff's now showing it on the air. And I probably hate to tell you this, but I did buy the same color.
That's okay because it's an awesome color.
Yeah, I thought it didn't like any other colors. And then I ended up and I ended up getting some of the other accessories. I got the Freudian slip. That's
Oh, you did get that. Okay,
but I
hold that up too.
I went a little even extra. I got the ghost whale organizer pouch too.
Oh, you stepped it up a notch.
I did, and so this is gonna be nice. I'll be able to carry this. So it's hard for me. It's some challenges I have, and then now having this, not worrying where the heck my phone is and where the heck I have this. It's a nice bag. And again, if you just get the bag itself, it's only $90. It has a lifetime warranty guarantee on it too. So can't beat it.
Is it big enough for an iPad?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, I can get my 13 inch.
I threw my 13-inch iPad Pro in here.
Yeah.
They advertise it as being able to fit like the 10-inch iPads, and around that 11-inch size.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can put a full-size iPad Pro in here.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So that's mine.
And the Freudian slip, the pockets on that, there's a zippered padded pocket. You can actually throw an iPad mini with its case into the zipper pocket and close it.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, Jill.
You are going to love this bag.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, Jill, you've got a cool thing here, or a cool thing found.
Well, first of all, I'm a bag addict, and so I'm not allowed to buy any more bags.
I am too. You should see what I have.
What-
You should see how many I have in my closet right now.
Jill, what if it's a really important bag, like this Tom Bin bag?
I love the Tom Big bags, but no more bags. No.
Mom's got a brand new bag.
No.
She got an intervention.
So
And Daddy never sleeps at night.
yeah.
Oh boy.
So my thing is that I redid my website, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago or last week, that I redid jillfromthenorthwoods.com. And I used a company that this was recommended by ChatGPT, but it's Card with an extra R, like it's a pirate card. Card.com. And the nice thing about it is that the cards are basically you break your website into sections. And it doesn't allow fancy code. You don't have uploads of files.
Mhm.
But for $9 a year, you get a very basic website. You get 3 of them. For $19 a year, which is what I have, you get 10 websites and more advanced cards. And I needed that because I'm hooking mine up to domain names. So I had to get the 19 a year plan. And it makes a very nice website. It's very, very flexible. And like I said, you don't have to be any sort of a programming person to do this. You just nudge it here and nudge it there, and you will have yourself a website. And I needed something just to tell people at the end of shows where you can find me. And it's perfect for that.
Oh, there you go.
But that doesn't include domain registering. Is there
19 is if you get the 19 per year plan, you can have domain registry.
Okay, so they'll take care of that for you then.
I think that I have my domain other places, so I don't know about that part, but you can hook it up. But they do have a registrar program, and I don't know how much that costs.
Okay, just check.
There's so many great registrars. Lately I've been buying from porkbun.com because it's funny sounding.
Because you just like the name.
Yeah, but .com domains are $11. So you go to Hover, it's 20. So anyway,
right. I just bought 2 new domains today, so I am going to hook up another one of my 10 websites to Card.
There you go. All right, Eric, you've got something for the Vision Pro. Surprise.
Yeah, that surprised me too. This is a piece of software called Airstream that solves the problem of if you have a bunch of MKV files or a bunch of 3D movie files, but the 3D movie files are like side-by-side images, not Apple immersive video files. This will you just point it at a folder of video. It figures out what it needs to do for each of the different files, adds a description of what's actually in there, and then you can use spatial film on the Vision Pro, open it up. It says, oh, hey, let me look at your Mac that's got all of the stuff on it. Connects, gives you a list of available video. You click on it, and then you can watch the movies, and they're wrapped correctly, so you can have a background like their new kind of icy background with the stream going through, and it will put the movie behind the background so you get reflection on the water, so it looks really cool. it's easy, and just adding the extra data so the Vision Pro knows how to deal with it only takes like a minute or so. It's really fast. It doesn't have to re-encode the entire video. It just says, oh, this is what this video is and how you play it. It does have the ability to do some re-encoding if necessary, but it does it on the Mac side, so you're not overheating or overworking your Vision Pro. You can just use it for whatever, do all of the rest of the work on your Mac, and then enjoy the results and, watch whatever later.
Nice.
So,
All right.
very convenient.
Very cool. That's blurry. Oh, it just came out of blur on their website. All right. Good pick. Good pick. Jeff, Panic. They make some great stuff. I wish they had.
They make amazing stuff. Okay. So my pick is Prompt. And for those of you that already use the Terminal app on your Mac, you might be like, well, why would I want Prompt? Because it's so fracking cool and it works so well.
Mm-hmm.
So Prompt, what it does is it gives you a command line prompt and then lets you like SSH into remote computers. And you can use it to for other things too. For me, the primary use is SSH. I started using the very first version of Prompt on the iPad, and it very quickly became my preferred method for SSHing into my Raspberry Pis. And then when Prompt 2 came out, of course I bought it. Prompt 3 came out, and of course I bought it. But Prompt 3, that's when they added in for the price of the app, you get it on iPhone, iPad, and Mac.
Nice.
And when you set up your Prompt Sync account, which is free, then all those computers or servers that you're remote connecting to all the time that you keep in your list so you can just auto connect, that syncs between all your devices. And I have a bunch of terminal commands that I use all the time. So I just set them up as like little clips in there so I can tap or click the thing that lists all my clips, choose the one that I need, and it spits out the command line text that I need and saves me tons of time. So yeah, this is my hands down favorite app for remote connecting to from command line to other systems.
Love it.
And they made it actually very affordable because you can buy it as a subscription. So that would be $10 a year. And this is a pro level tool for $10 a year. Or if you prefer to have a perpetual license, it's $50.
Yep.
And even though I expect that Prompt 4 will come out before I have used Prompt 3 for 5 years to balance out the yearly subscription price, I didn't care because I love what Panic is doing so much. I paid for a perpetual license, fully expecting that before that 5 years is up, Prompt 4 will come out, and I will just buy another perpetual license to do everything I can to support them.
There you go.
It is a fantastic app.
I use Transmit. I've had that for years.
Oh, I'm a Transmit user as well. I've been using Transmit for, I think it started prior to Mac OS 10.
Yeah, I'm going back.
So so probably like System 8.5 or System 9, I was already using Transmit.
I'm going back in the news group days with Unison. I love that app.
Good times.
Yeah. So, Chuck, go ahead.
Panic's has Prompt for Vision OS also, and it gives you
I forgot. Yes,
an option for an immersive layer. It is really cool. Or you can use it without the layer special effects.
But hey, got an Vision Pro, you got a layer. Chuck, you got another great Govee product.
Yeah, I'm in the process of shifting over to Govee after wasting entirely too much money on this bulb and that bulb. Govee, and I'm just doing it kind of as the deals come up. So this was on a big sale a little while ago. I picked it up. This is a standing floor lamp, a Govee floor lamp. Govee floor lamp 3. That is really nice. I really like it because some of the cheaper bulbs and cheaper products that you get out there, and I say the cheaper ones, you spend some money on something like Philips Hue. The colors are very definitely rich and vibrant. You get some of the cheaper ones, and it's like, yeah, okay, I guess that's red. I guess that's green, but it's kind of pale. Yeah, so Govee stuff is always like very saturated, very, very intense. If that's what you're looking for, great. But I picked this up, again on a whim to replace something I already have, and I'm really, really happy with it. It's again one of those things that I think that was why I became soured on some of the color lighting and the home automation for a little while. Is that it just I'd bought cheap products. I'll admit it. It looks like a deal. Oh, great. And yeah, I can make it work with that. Govee's support has been terrific the couple times I've needed to use it, which really isn't very often. The app is very approachable. So I strongly can recommend this to add a little bit of color to your background or your life or whatever.
Okay.
Chuck, that blue right there, that's that lamp. The blue I have.
It's the Govee floor?
Yeah, it's stuck within a bookcase, so it
nice.
floods out to kind of give me a glow.
I have one that's behind my head.
That's right, you do,
my
Marty.
head, you could see it.
I
got silver because it would blend in better in terms of the background, and I can play around with the scenes if I want to. And
yeah, I've got the lower price one, the RGBIC one, the floor lamp. It's basic. Yeah, the colors. It's not as bright. I was using it for a light in here, and it does have the colors. But this one's pretty cool. It's a lot brighter. 10,000 K. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and again, I'm just gonna tell you, don't waste your money. Either buy it decent or don't buy it.
Yeah,
and just wait, because that's again, you will be disappointed. But then again, I'm a big fan of colors, and Jill's is a great example because that is a very definite. There's no question that that's a colored light, and some of the the less expensive ones, the colors are just not what they should be.
Yeah. All right, the last pick this week is I've used this app before. I haven't used it for quite a while, but it's a good old photo editing app. Guy, what do you got?
Yeah, it's called Acorn. It's from, and I love the name of this company,
Flying Meat.
Flying software. For a lot of people, and myself included, that don't want to take the time to learn how to use Photoshop or Pixelmator or some of the other ones with just its oodles. Sorry, calm down. It's okay. All of the the different layers and the different tools that you can use and all the rest of that. If you've just got some simple stuff that you want to do with pictures or with graphics, this is a very low-cost program that will let you do 80% of what everything else does and not much more. It's like $30, I think. And that's buy it outright. There's no subscription. There's no reoccurring costs. You buy the program, you own the program. I know, radical idea, but that's the way I roll sometimes. I have used Acorn to do the show graphics for both the My Mac podcast and the G-Men podcast up until recently for a very, very long time. And I really, really like it.
Okay, good pick. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to wrap up. But before we do that, let's find out where everybody can be found. I'm going to start with Mr. Guy Serle. Thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me come on once again.
Of course.
I am one of the hosts of the G-Men Show, along with Gaz, and he is doing much better. And hopefully next month we'll start coming back.
Yay.
So that's
nice.
That's awesome. Great news.
I know,
That's
isn't it?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh. So, the G-Men Show with Guy and Gaz, you can reach us, G-Men Show at iCloud.com. I can be found over there on the Twacksters and Skies of Blue as Mac Parrot or Vert Shark.
How about the Stawns of Mast?
Stawns of Mast, Gaz, yes, me, not so much. It's a little too fragmented for my tastes. Mostly I'm on the relatively mainstream ones. Twackster, Skies of Blue, Ball of Yarn, all of those. And so if you want to see some of the stuff that I do, of course, you can subscribe to the G-Men Show, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Vert Shark, and everything I do will show up over there. I've got like 750 videos over there, so go check it out. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for being here, Guy. Jeff Gamet.
Oh, forgot.
Go ahead.
I've started doing that live. The G-Men Show lately has been live.
That's great. Excellent. Jeff Gamet, thank you for being here, as always. Where can people find you?
Well, first, Dave, I'm saying it again. It was so awesome to see you and Kathy last week, and I wish I would have been able to spend even more time with you. Yeah. Although, you needed to have your special time too, so
it was special.
Yeah. All right. So when I'm not waxing poetic about Dave. Can find me on my websites, jeffgamet.com and freshbrewtales.com, and Jay Gamet on the various social media platforms, and then except LinkedIn, Jeff Gamet there. And then let's see, for shows, Tuesdays on Chuck's Mac Voices Live, here on Dave's In Touch with iOS on Thursdays. Brian Chaffin and I do The Context Machine. Patrice Brindamore and I do Retro Rewatch. A bunch of us on Fridays also do Tech Hangout, and then there are other shows that pop up, like Guy. I feel another episode for us coming on.
Warp Speed Weirdos.
Yeah, maybe we should be talking about Strange New Worlds.
I would love to be talking.
Well, then.
Sorry, excuse me. I would.
I'm not sure if I gave him a heart attack or just choked him up.
Yes.
Yeah, and and then Chuck and Marty, I love when we record together too. Anyhow, I just love all of you people, so thanks for being my friends.
Thank you. Eric Bolden, thank you for being here. Where can we find you?
Oh, I can be found wandering around woods looking for flowers that are blooming, but more easily on Mastodon at EA Bolden at MES.to. Sunday nights on the Neo Notebook, Mondays on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live, and then, of course, rounding out my week on Thursdays with In Touch with iOS.
Great. Thank you for being here. Marty Jencius, thank you so much for being here. Where can we find you?
I hate all you people. I just dropped around $200 thanks to you guys.
He bought a bag.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And 10 websites I don't know what I'm going to do with yet, but I'll figure it out.
Podcast.
Marty, you saw me wearing that very bag at Macstock, like when we all went out for breakfast on the way to the airport. That's the bag that I had with me.
And I looked at it and I said, that seems like the perfect bag for me to go from my home to the university and back, considering I'm using a Neo and all that. Anyways, where can you find me? Many of the places Eric already mentioned. Chuck Show on Tuesday nights, Dave Show here on Thursday nights, and Vision Profiles, Neo Notebook. Go to thepodtalk.net. And you'll find the shows that I produce and find the shows that I'm connected to. One I'll bring up here because I am enjoying the partnership with Cindy Rotz on Fade to Chat. And I've just started because I don't do solo shows. I just started a solo look in the camera, talk for 8 minutes kind of show called One Scene. The camera and the couch, and it's paired with Fade to Chat. So this coming episode we'll do on Monday is on Bridge on the River Kwai, and I will take one scene from there and capture it from a counselor or a psychologist's point of view, what's going on with the character. And I've already kind of written the script for it for this next episode. So those will come out simultaneously and support each other. It's a fun show on classic movies. That's all I got to say. Thepodtalk.net at Jencius, Jencius on the socials.
Gonna call.
When are you gonna do you're gonna do the mask?
The Mask?
Yeah.
What, Jim Carrey's The Mask?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I would love a psychological breakdown of almost any Jim Carrey movie.
Okay.
Or if you want to be super depressed, would you do Apocalypse Now for us?
Movies of the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Because those other movie shows are all kind of taken up. So we've got this niche for old films with that one. However, Cindy and I have discussed saying maybe let's just pick one of the movies out of that period and just do that and throw it at each other and see what happens. Right. But I think it would be something more disturbing from my end. So,
Chuck Joyner, thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
Now I'm really intrigued about what movie Marty would pick that's disturbing, but And I have this vision of Eric out wandering around the woods looking for plants blooming and finding just the right mushroom.
I've tried that.
I have no doubt. Anyway, you can find me at macvoices.com. That's where we are releasing a couple interviews recorded at MacStock. We also are doing the live show Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. And on all the socials, you can find me as at Chuck Joyner. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Jill McKinley, thank you for being here. As always, let people know where they can find you. Are you froze?
Froze.
Oh.
Who froze us?
Winter comes early to the North Woods.
Yes.
All right, folks.
Well, she's up a little farther north.
She looks like she's contemplating whether I should leave now or not.
We'll say Jill from the Northwoods.
She looks so serene and peaceful.
Yeah. All right,
I think she looks like she's judging us.
Let's go ahead and wrap up. All right.
Oh, boy.
That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky and Mastodon at intouchwithios. Support the show. Buy me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We would really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We'd really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you are notified when we're live streaming, which is on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/intouchwithios. Thank you, Witherbucket, for being there, and I believe Webb was in there earlier and a number of others. Thanks for being here. This is where you can see the live streams. They stay out there recorded, and as well as watch and listen to past shows. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, which is including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, many others. But better yet, just go to our website, intouchwithios.com. There's the links where you'll be able to listen to us right there. I am Dave Ginsburg. You can find me at the following podcasts, which will be on Sunday nights at the Neo Notebook. I missed it last week with a vacation, but I'm going to come back for that. And you got the Vision Profiles on Mondays, Tuesday nights on Mac Voices Live. Always have a blast there. Thursday nights here on In Touch with iOS. Fridays, the Tech Hangout with our friends with Patrice and all of our great friends. Most of the people are here, I think. And you also can find me on Mastodon, new handle because Mastodon changed their server. It's Dave Ginsburg at mastodon.social, as well as Dave Ginsburg on Blue Sky. And with that, before we wrap up, let's find out where we can find Jill McKinley since she froze up and she's back.
All right, I think the power just blipped for a second there. You can find me at jillfromthenorthwoods.com and see what a great job Card does for a website. Right now I'm doing Small Steps with AI, and that's my podcast where I talk about just how to use AI for everyday life.
Excellent. Thanks, Jill, and thank you.
Also, I walked away with $12 of spending with 2 droppy.
All right.
So only $12.
All right, good.
Better than I did.
I did 5 licenses just because, it's cheap. Anyway, Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Appreciate all your support with the show and all this great panel we have every week. Till then, we will talk again soon.